Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
We are here with the Purdue Rose versus Florida Polytech Ashborn match.
Should be a very exciting game for everyone. Oh,
All right, sorry, I changed the scene for a second. We're back. We're
oh
good.
no, good. Perfect. Just introduce myself. My name is Nate, aka Medica, aka Meme Hunter. So I'll be casting alongside Matthew tonight, who's currently going to be streaming the game, giving us the spectator point of view, so we can try and capture everything that we can during the match. So that should be an exciting time.
Currently working on getting our maps to show up. Our first map is going to be Lijiang Tower.
Definitely exciting map to want to have in your lineup. Super fun, well balanced, and I think it allows for a lot of different team comps. So I'm super interested to see what both Purdue Rose and Florida Poly are gonna pull out here. So it should definitely be very exciting. Got to see at least one TP strat before the end of the night.
There we go. I got the maps up. All right, going to switch over to our match here. Transition. Then make sure match. Put this guy above that guy. Wait.
Initiating match.
Hang on.
Oh,
I'll get it eventually. We're live. We're still here. I'm just getting the match scene up. There we go. I think this will work now. This goes there. There we go. We're on it.
Ah, okay. Let's get going.
And then I'm gonna double check what our bans are here. Anna and Cassidy are our bans.
On a cast bands definitely allows for a lot more flexibility in having divers kind of dominate the map in every form. I think Hazard Tracer Venture is going to be a very interesting combo of really focusing in on one target, making sure that they get absolutely deleted. Should be likely to focus in either the Sojourn, the Moira, something like that, force out some cooldowns. So we'll see how they end up playing that.
And coming right out of spawn, we have looks like a brawl from our friends at FLPoly, and we have a bit more of a divey style coming out from Purdue Rose.
Absolutely. Ruthless Lich looking to take the honorable Rhine 1v1 without... Except without the Rhine 1v1 part of it. So, should be very interested to see how that works for FLPoly. Lucamel just looking to take a little bit more of a passive approach, just wearing down Rhine shield, so kind of biding their time.
Tracer flanking and trying to hit the Venture here.
Absolutely.
A good wall from our Hazard to try and stop them. Let's take a look at our Hazard here.
Lucamel looking to get some value off on the side here, trying to get that pick. And that first early pick on Ruthless Lich is going to be massive for Rose Gold, taking both Lindell and Abstract down. Purdue Rose getting a pretty dominant advantage in their first full team fight here.
Let's look at the ult situation here. We have about 75% from both of Purdue Rose's supports and 80 for the Moira on the other side, so that Coalescence should be coming out soon for the brawl.
Absolutely, that 90% to pulse bomb from Sage should be a big difference maker. Oh, that's a massive slash on the Venture and the Lucio. Wow. Both Rose and FLPoly losing a member, but losing Nene may end up spelling a little bit of a nasty tune for...
Here comes the Coalescence to try and save their team from Sportsman.
Absolutely, that'll give them a pretty dominant point advantage here, but we'll see if Purdue Rose is able to kite out a little bit more if we take the fight. A big Kitsune down main will allow Lucamel to get a nasty downpour.
It does
on the
appear
enemy
that
supports.
both of Purdue's supports ults have been used though, whereas FLPoly on the other side has that Lucio ult coming right up still. They should be able
That
to
is a
live
very
through just about anything.
That is a very costly fight to lose both support ults here, but with that beat coming up, should be able to take both the upcoming Venture ult, see if they're able to get some advantage with both DPS ults coming up.
Our Venture is being pushed out and being flanked by the Lucio. Had to use ult to try and live, and they were able to get the kill.
Absolutely. Lucamel in a pretty precarious spot there. With Purdue Rose losing forward, they're going to lose this pretty dominantly.
Team kill from FLPoly Ashborn.
Absolutely, that overclock and that beat putting in will work here for FLPoly. But Purdue Rose definitely isn't far behind in the ult economy, so these two DPS ults coming up should be pretty big for them. Zenyatta is a very good play here from Genovi, just really putting a lot of pressure on the Rhine, allowing for more space to be taken by Lucamel, Trickster, and Sage.
So big ult from the Venture behind.
Absolutely, big kill from both Trickster and Sage. Another pick from Sage and one from Lucamel. A quick team wipe for Purdue Rose against FLPoly, and they get free control of the point. Not a bad showing here.
80 to 70% now.
Bomb. Absolutely. Sage even managed to keep Pulse Bomb here, so getting an early pick would be absolutely huge for Rose Gold if they're able to pull it, for Rose if they're able to pull it off.
We'll watch the Tracer here to see if the Pulse can get stuck. That's a big stick on the Reinhardt, does a lot of damage.
Oh my gosh, massive downpour! Even gonna catch the Cole. Wow. Absolutely massive downpour from Lucamel. Holy.
And with that, it looks like Purdue Rose is going to be taking this first point here. The Lucio tries in vain to touch here at the end.
We'll see if Lucio will touch, and
there.
Unfortunately, no touch for FLPoly. Yeah, I think what I want. Absolutely, what I really love from Rose is that they're getting a lot of value out of their ults and really making sure that everything that they do is getting great value. I think every ult I've seen so far out of Rose has been great, gotten value, got them advantage in the team fight. So, with a very different map like Gardens here, we should be able to see how that advantage translates over to a bit more of a precarious environmental map. But Lucio may show off here on Bridge. Potential TP strat coming out here from FLPoly, so getting point advantage would be big for their composition. Right, FLPoly looking to
TP to the point. They do have, yeah, like you said, the point advantage is pretty big here for the Brawl team.
Absolutely, yeah. That Trickster getting kind of caught out there at the beginning is not going to give them a good advantage, but Lich holding that corner strong should be able to keep a whole lot of space available for FLPoly to play. Absolutely. Neither team getting very close to farming their first ultimate yet, with Genovi being the closest to that transcendence there. But
Hazard is in. Their Venture got low. You see Sage in the backline there, the Tracer on.
Lucamel trying to focus in on Abstract here, trying to get that first pick, but it's a little difficult to try and full dive onto the rest of their team here.
The Tracer
find an opportunity.
Purdue Rose needs their Tracer and their Hazard to coordinate a bit more. We need to see Lucamel and Sage talking.
Absolutely, I'd love to see a big wall off of an enemy target there, try and cut off their support, try and isolate them. But it's a little bit of a hard map given how open the central space is here, so it might be difficult to try to find somebody and catch them out. But I see Sage going on a big flank here potentially, and Trickster using that far up to try and get some aerial advantage.
We almost have the ults coming up for Purdue Rose. You see the Pulse Bomb went out, it's stuck to Lucio.
Big Pulse Bomb on Abstract here.
The Hazard ult gets blocked by the shield.
It's a very good. That's a very good advantage of playing Ryan into Hazard with having that shield up at any time to block down for.
That Symmetra ult just keeps
Right.
them entirely safe. They can just juggle between the sides of the wall.
Absolutely.
See a Kiri ult to
That
try
Kitsune
and-
should be pretty good. Oh, that wall
That's a
goes
good
down at a
pick.
pretty perfect time for Purdue Rose take advantage of that. Absolutely. That
Zen floating
just
over
seems
the
like-
edge to keep himself alive there.
it seems that FLPoly could not stand up to the Kitsune that got a little outfoxed right there, I would say. But unfortunately, not looking like Purdue Rose gonna have much advantage alt-wise going into this next fight with a couple coming out from FLPoly here.
Got the Lucy wall coming out here. That's gonna be used to engage on this, but the Royal Trickster is able to get the pick early.
Absolutely
Ryan
big
fights back.
pick from Abstract here onto Genobi, but it just seems like Rose was not able to hold that point any longer. So
That-
this map is
the
going to go
early
to round
point
3.
control- The early point control from Ashborn there really secured it for them. They just
Definitely.
Purdue just couldn't get into the point.
Absolutely. I think that the Reinhardt comps truly, you know, they're not super flexible. You can't run them in every situation, but is Reinhardt good at holding space? Is
Yeah,
he good at
that's-
holding one corner and guarding it with his life? And I really think that with a map that as enclosed as Lijiang Gardens, you know, that's really going to be shown to its fullest potential.
This is another map where we see the early Symmetra teleports to the point, and with Ashborn not switching up that Symmetra and Ryan, we could see them doing the exact same thing here.
Absolutely.
Likely they're gonna just TP to the point and then just hold it.
A little bit of a Reaper switch coming out to try and place maybe a little bit more pressure on Ruthless Lich. Looking for an opportunity to try and get a dive here, but you know, trying to play that fight the exact same way. Potential big pick out here on Chief B.
The
Should be
Reaper
a
Sage is
big
able to
advantage here.
shoot Reinhardt, but not before he gets fire striked away.
With Stage and Nene getting caught out, as well as Lucamel on the charge there. Even if Sportsman and Lich did get caught out in this fight.
Royal
Ooh,
Trickster though,
big
keeping
picks here from
keeping their
Trickster.
team in it. Keeping their team
Oh my
alive.
god. Trickster might be absolutely disgusting on the bench.
I'd gladly share a tomb with you.
Alright,
It's a
but
good start to
you
this
know,
one
it's
for them.
absolutely, but you know, with one fight we'll be able to see if they keep that advantage.
Well, Luke
Luke
might
not
have
getting
gone too far
big.
in.
Ooh, pressure. Oh, maybe a little bit too much time spent in the enemy space there. That's alright.
Be on the Zen here. Can they get out? No. That's gonna likely be the point lost for Purdue here.
Unfortunate TP in from Sage, maybe a little bit too late to try and save the point, but that's okay. We just get a full reset here. But Lich Sportsman, pretty much everyone on FLPoly is coming up on the next ultimate, but so it seems is Rose. So this will be a pretty heavy ult fight coming up here.
What ults are we gonna see come out most likely? It's a good boop away to
I'd
keep
really-
the Hazard from engaging.
I'd really love to see that. Coalescence come out early here to try and give FLPoly an early advantage. Maybe play harder into.
I can also
Pretty
see
Rose's
it
back
in an
line,
early
but-
shatter engage, but it's gonna actually be the Hazard
Oh
that
my
comes first.
goodness!
The Coalescence
Massive
is gonna
down
keep
for
them alive, though.
Lucamel. And a
It's in
big
response to
transcendence
keep
to
them
keep them alive. Ooh, that's very nice.
FLPoly does have another support ult if they can get that. They got the Lucy ult off. That's gonna keep them alive.
Beat coming off, but it's a little bit too late to save both their Lich and their Chief. So that'll give a pretty clear advantage for a point for Rose here. But you know, still Rose managed to hold 2 of their ults here for this next fight. But so we'll be able to see kind of how they take advantage of having both Kiri and Reaper ult.
They
That's
TP
a
to the
massive
point to
combination.
try and take it before Purdue can even get there.
Ooh, A little bit too aggressive on Mukamo's part, but that's alright. Lich getting a big charge on the fade. Oh my goodness. Call that a Boilermaker you don't want to see every day.
That shutdown. Lich just getting charge kill after charge kill here.
Yeah, seriously, that is a massive couple picks right there to try and get some clear advantage here, especially with Shinobi walking back pretty slowly for the most part.
Heroes taking their time to regroup here before they engage. They do have a solid 30% here to play with on the side that they can.
Definitely. They're not super rushed, but definitely want to take this fight so that they're able to not be super in pressure. Absolutely. Big dive there. Look him out.
The second venture to burrow actually gets more damage on the first one. That actually kept Lyondell, safe and able to do enough damage to kill Royal Twister there.
Absolutely. Even with the pretty insane amount of bursts that hazard compositions have, it's pretty difficult to survive once you're kind of stuck there in the middle of the enemy team. So it's a hard composition to play right here, but FLPoly is going to take this first map.
At the end to stagger to stall it out longer, but that is going to be FLPoly's win for the first map here.
Absolutely. Still very well played from both sides here. Definitely like to see a good Rhine composition be played really well, really holding their space properly. But excited to see how Purdue Rose changes up their playstyle in this next map.
We're gonna switch over to see the map screen here in a second. Maps. Beautiful. Our maps are here.
Gorgeous.
Now we're gonna wait and see what the next map pick, I believe, from Purdue Rose is. I believe it is a loser pick here. And we will also wait and see what the bans are coming in.
Absolutely. The bans will make a pretty big impact here. So, that cast ban really did a lot of good for allowing that, hazard tracer venture composition to try and get more space. But, with FLPoly playing so condensed, it was really hard to find an opportunity there, I think, to try and get early picks as consistently as they would have liked.
And the ban from the other side to get the Ana out actually kept the Rhine comp safer. Because they were pumping that Rhine with heals and not having the anti-nade to be able to keep the Rhine off the map, basically.
Absolutely. I think, Genobi on the Zen was, it was a really, definitely, I think Discord does a lot for Rose in trying to pressure targets more, trying to put more pressure on Lich in those team fights. But I think that just creates a very vulnerable dive target for Rose and might allow them to be taken advantage of a little bit easier in some of these fights. So I am excited to see maybe another Zen comp come out, see if they're able to change that up a little bit. It's always exciting to see a character like Zenyatta, because you don't see him all the time.
Looks like we have King's Row coming in, as well as a Rhine ban from FLPoly, and a Zen ban from. Wait, hang on. It was a Zen ban from FLPoly and a Rhine ban from Purdue Rose. Let's see, a Rhine ban for Purdue Rose and a Zen ban for FLPoly here. And where is Zenyatta on my list?
Zen ban. So unfortunately, no more Zen at this map.
Take a look at the bans while we're waiting for them to get into the match here. A Rhine ban from Purdue is interesting. I guess, although Lich was just playing Rhine on that last map and was doing a lot of damage there, so, looking back, thinking about it a little bit more, that actually does make some sense.
Definitely, I mean...
The Rhine on King's Row is what was interesting to me a little bit, but it does seem very reasonable given the map that we just saw.
No honorable Rhine duel coming out on KR, unfortunately for FLPoly here, but running the Ramatra should be pretty good and pretty viable, especially into Sigma. But you know, I think
happened,
with
my keyboard just
because I don't
pressed
see
3 and
freedom
switched
in
perspectives.
indoctrination.
I did not intend to do that.
interesting. That is okay. That is
But we are
okay.
here now.
Automatically switch the Ramatra gameplay. It was always
it just
destined to
decided
be.
Ramatra was the focus now. As we
You know, it really
attacker spawn to see what Purdue is planning over here.
Called that a ravenous vortex.
Looks like we got a very poke-centric comp with the Sigma and the May, as well as the Ana, Moira, and Venture coming out from Purdue. On the other side, we have a much more brawly comp, a bit more range damage in the Sojourn. The Sigma,
Definitely, I think it'll be very interesting those walls. Definitely, they're gonna be able to isolate a target a lot easier here with the May, but you know, with Rom being so survivable, might be tough. Yep, I think Sage maybe not able to find the pick he would have liked. Yeah, unfortunately. But Lucamel getting some good corner pressure. Unfortunately, it seems that Lucamel isn't able to brawl with him when it really comes down to it, at least numbers wise. But you know, Lucamel also getting the pick here on Sportsman, so you know, could always be wrong.
Abstract on the Lucio is also pretty low. It's
Really
a really early signal. That's a
big
good
pick
ult,
here from
really
Lindell,
fast as
but
well.
Purdue's able to really show out here. Oh my goodness, with that big flux, no doubt Rose won that here.
That should lead to capture of the point for Rose.
Absolutely, some really fantastic picks opening up that fight for Rose, and I really like to see that the Venture is really coming through for Rose, really able to take targets out of spaces they would have liked to be in, and either carrying them somewhere else or just giving them the straight up one shot. Goodness. Big space being taken from Lucamel here, with Sage coming in, trying to place some more pressure on the front line.
We start bans on the screens that we see the right teams banning the right heroes here.
All systems go.
Looks like we got a Sojourn coming out.
My goodness. Steve B just laying down the pressure with Lindell being able to follow up beautifully. My goodness. Now that's a DPS duo I can get behind. Lucamel being able to find one, but doesn't. Lucamel being able to come through with one pick, but doesn't mean nothing. But that's going to be a really good advantage going into the next fight for Rose here.
They do have 4 ults that should, you would think, lead to a fight win, but Abstract on the other side does have that Lucio beat to keep them alive through some of it.
Absolutely, I'd really love to see a big blizzard coming out here.
The Ram ult was a bit of a panic Ram ult there to try and keep them alive.
Yeah, definitely still got a lot of value allowing Lindell to follow up with Lucamel getting a couple big picks there. But with the beat coming through, it seems that Purdue is probably going to struggle a bit more in trying to find any targets to finish off here.
But can the beat really keep FLPoly alive long enough here for their reinforcements to come back? It doesn't.
Seems like Lucamel. Seems like Lucamel might be unleashing his own gravitic flux here in a second, finding a big pick on Chi. That's really going to put FLPoly in a tight spot in this next fight.
Yeah, they're down
Basically
players.
being
Run back all the way from the last spawn there.
If Purdue plays fast enough here, they could really create a good continuing advantage for themselves. With Purdue getting frozen here in Blizzard, my goodness, it just doesn't seem like FLPoly is going to be able to keep themselves alive here, even with the support.
It's a good wall from Royal Trickster there.
Absolutely, and a fantastic Blizzard as well, really being able to isolate Lich here.
See, Sage is perhaps a little overzealous. He has that burrow to get out, as well as the drill dash if they need to.
You know, Venture really allows you to just kind of play like a rat in the sidelines, trying to get peek some cheeky angles, trying to get some early line pressure there. See if we can get an early pick.
We see the coalescence coming out from Ashborn here.
Absolutely.
Seagull does catch 3, it looks like. Royal Trickster is able to pick off Sportsman with that damage from the flux there.
Absolutely. Even with the cold from Sportsman, doesn't seem like it's able to give them enough of an advantage to stay alive.
Rose using the nano here to try and clean up, although it might not have been necessary in the end.
That's okay. You know, going into this fight, it's going to be really good to keep Ashborn right in that spawn door, but Ashborn is able to push out onto Purdue. But Purdue still has a big excavation to come out here.
Lionel's 30% away from their excavation.
Able to use it. Mighty unfortunate.
Going straight onto the supports here. Trying to disrupt the backline.
Linda's still looking for more backline pressure here with that coalescence coming out in order to get some team cleave and get that pick on Abstract, which is massive with beat up. So no beat for a few seconds here going to this next fight, so Purdue's going to have to play fast if they want to get a clear advantage here. With a big flux coming out, that's exactly what I want to see.
Able to end the wall on the ramp there and try and keep to stop the supports from actually healing him.
Seems like he was not able. Yeah, it really seems like Lich was not able to make them suffer as he had, which is unfortunate to see. But Purdue really taking advantage of those early ults, getting more key picks there.
Sage chasing down this Moira.
To get a little bit more pressure. My goodness. But a big beat.
A good beat to try and keep him alive, but it doesn't seem to last long enough.
Yeah, don't feel like there's enough help in the world.
Not even a barrage can kill the Nano May.
They call her a demon for a reason.
That is the end of the first round here. Purdue able to
absolutely a great combination of both alts and early play is really going to give Purdue a great advantage in this fight and give them a pretty solid time bank, all things considered. So it'll be exciting to see how they end up going into this next fight. But I think you know, normally you wouldn't see too much, or at least you didn't see too much Sigma being played into ROM, but really gives Lukamel some great advantage in a mid-range fight, with both Janobi and Nene being able to utilize their cooldowns to create more team pressure. Trickster and Sage being able to finish those targets off. So really great teamwork I'd love to see from Purdue, and I'm excited to see if they're able to keep it up.
We can see, you know, the other side of the map here that doesn't exist for some reason, but it's fully.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to see that because you know we only see. I mean, you only see it for one map.
It existed in a singular event game mode, as well as
so
non-existent PvE.
When are we getting that KR rework, that KR expansion into the PvE section? I think that's a great question.
You know, I always thought that they would eventually make like a second King's Row map that uses that section as like a whole escort map, but it doesn't seem like they
really would be shocking. Oh well, you know what? But even on the maps, even on the part of it that we have, definitely not a bad place to be able to compete with. Purdue running
early pick here on someone to open this wide open.
Let's even going in with the hazard comp here, so gonna be turning around the rolls.
You'd be able to get some good body shots and get some good damage.
Absolutely, but you know it's really not going to come through until we see a big headshot coming out here from Keith. But Keith is really looking for it right now.
They've gotten behind. That's pretty good, and they've been spotted. And they're gone.
Alright. I would say big pick on the Chief from Sage there, not allowing
the break here from Abstract instead of Lucio coming in with the hazard comp.
Brick is a very interesting pick here. Doesn't really do much to stop the tank line, but Maybe makes Sage and Trickster think a little bit more about their angles, as Sage does, or Trickster does unfortunately find his head being taken off right there.
Yeah, this does seem like a direct counter to try and stop Sage from running wild in the back line.
So it seems like it's going to be working okay with them, even if Lionel does.
It's a good sleep to keep their Ana alive, but Hazard does get waking up.
A great attempt, great flux there from Lucamel, really stopping that Nano Hazard from placing any pressure.
Two teams here just be trading blows back and forth, but it looks like with that Coalescence, Purdue might be able to finally put it away.
Really, we'll see how long Abstract's being able to survive here. Finding that pick on Shinobi, unfortunate for Purdue. Lucamel finding another onto Abstract, not allowing him to rage in the backline any longer, but Trickster, Sage, and everyone else is just meeting their end, with Lucamel not able to survive long enough to keep the point.
That feels much better.
You know, this is a really exciting match just based off the fact that every fight is, you know, we have multiple picks coming out from both sides, and I really like to see a real tense match like that.
Does seem to be relatively even here, with the exception of that 1 point on Legion Gardens.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like FLPoly is doing a great job of being able to play for their lives in most of these fights. You know, when they're winning, they usually stay alive as 5, but
Wild Rage Sage almost getting the pick on the Sojourn there. So close, but instead it's gonna be Lucamel and Sigma's falling for throws.
Lucamel being caught out there is super unfortunate, as well as Trickster. Unfortunately, taking an L.
Saw the Nano come out for FLPoly there to help them win that fight, but nothing more needed to be used.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not a good target to find for, not a good target to have for Nene here on that Nano, but I'd love to see that come out in our next fight here, try and either keep someone alive or take some advantage.
Nene back in the spawn, walking over right now.
Really, but it seems like Ashborn is going to go into this next map with a really big ult advantage, but that Nano boost coming right down to Lucamel.
The Hazard ult.
Absolutely, Sage getting the Adventure Dip in right there. Absolutely massive for Purdue.
Trickster here able to maybe finish off the Sana, not before the nade comes in to finish Trickster instead.
Unfortunate.
Sage able to do some damage here before he can get out, yep.
But Sage wanting some revenge here is not able to find it fully, but does play for his life, which is very smart. But Purdue mostly looking to play this corner pretty dang hard right here. Is going to give us a clear advantage.
Do they know each other are there? They don't know.
Uh-oh.
They use the
It's a tense situation for Sage. Sage
wasted,
really going in.
That wasted most of the Sojourn ult.
Yeah, that was a really smart play.
Favor.
Absolutely. Even if they weren't, even if Sage wasn't able to find the pick, they were still massive to be able to get the duration ult out there. Trickster being able to find Abstract, but Lionel being able to find 2 instead is going to be pretty massive. Sage really trading back those blows.
Almost got the last earthquake or last tremor off there.
Definitely. He definitely he knew that he wasn't going to live if he went any farther, so well played from Sage here.
To the Echo on their way back.
Echo would be Echo's a pretty solid pick here without a super dedicated hit scan to be able to deal with him fully.
Also lets them do exactly what we just saw, getting completely away from that venture. They were able to just completely destroy them.
Absolutely. Echo really coming in clutch, being able to place more pressure on Lionel without giving him the ability to fight back nearly as much. It's going to be pretty massive.
Long flank here to see if they can get a pick early on in this fight. Just hit someone with all the stickies and then burst them down.
Absolutely. That's how usually you want to be able to get that super early fight
They
advantage.
spotted the venture as well here.
Trickster's on the prowl over Lion though. Showing him who
try and get out with their life.
Venture trying to find a way out here, but
Instead,
Trickster is unfortunately going to find himself being the one tricked.
Lucamel's flux though wasn't able to catch much
Absolutely.
of it, but able to completely just finish that fight off.
Definitely. Some really great fluxes coming out from Lucamel here, and Alt and the rest of the team are going to be massive. Sportsmen not being able to live too long give them some advantage, you know. I was about to call why didn't they TP, but I think I need to get off Rivals for a little bit.
Wrong game.
Absolutely, but a great
play of the game.
Yeah, massive, absolutely massive ultimate usage and early fight picks are going to really give Purdue a solid advantage here. That's what I really like to see coming out from them. So great job to Purdue, and this match is going to go up to a solid 1-1.
Switch back over to our maps and see. We got yeah, so we're at 1-1 here. Looking at the records of the two teams, we have currently Purdue at 0-1, so they lost their first game, and I believe this is NECC. And FLPoly Ashborn over there has not played any of their matches yet, as far as I can tell.
Oh wow! So this is pretty early for them in the season, but you know, really getting to play Purdue is always an honor, I believe. So really getting to see a great match here, and I think that these two teams are pretty evenly matched in a lot of respects. And I really love to see some good hazard play coming out from both teams, really being able to take advantage of that great maneuverability on the character. So I'm really excited to see what both teams end up pulling out in this next match.
Just waiting on the map pick and bans to come through here. So far, like we've said, it's been a very even match.
Definitely. I think I'm really excited to kind of see how both teams end up adapting. I really, you know, the Sigma is not something I would have expected coming out from Luke and Mel in KR, but I think something that really ended up working to their advantage and allowing themselves to win those mid-range duels. And
it's definitely helping against the poke a bit more.
Definitely. And you don't see an Ana Moira comp every day, so really love to see Nene and Genobi taking advantage of that. But you know, every member is playing very well, and I'm definitely excited to see how this match continues on.
I can see our next map coming in here. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is. Our next map is looking like it's going to be Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Watchpoint Gibraltar is
a very dive-centric map.
You know, I personally, as a Winston player, unbiased, of course, I'd love to see some Winston coming out here from either Purdue or Ashborn.
Looks like.
But you know, definitely, I think Diva Ball. Maybe even a Doom could be a very strong possibility here. Maybe, you know, still playing a lot more Hazard. It's definitely still a strong pick.
Looks like FLPoly has banned the Venture.
Venture, you know, is a smart pick here. A smart ban here from Ashborn. Sage just went a little bit too wild.
Let's see our bans. We have the Venture ban coming through for FLPoly. And it looks like
Diva ban, so that'll open up more options for both hit scan and some tank picks. Really not allowing either team to have nearly as hard of the peel with the defense matrix, which is a pretty big factor when you're playing this map. Definitely super curious to see how everything comes out.
We're getting into the match here. It's like our match screen is still set up properly, so we should be all good.
Absolutely. All right, gonna be super curious to see how going into this next match how everything is gonna come out here composition wise, but super exciting to see everything new. But that's the Winston that I wanted to see. Now that's the Winston I wanted to come out.
Very happy to see the monkey today.
Absolutely, I think Lugamel playing into the Sigma comp there is still a very smart idea, allowing Purdue to get a little bit more pressure on the high ground without actually having to be there. So it seems like Purdue is going to dive a lot more into the poke composition here, over a dive playstyle.
The Echo able to try and do some more damage from a bit higher up and a bit more at range. Sage going to start on the Widow and see if they can get that early pick. Lugamel on the Sigma at this early stage, it doesn't have an easy way to do damage when the dive comp is on the high ground, and FLPoly is on the high ground over there.
Absolutely, Sage has the potential to be a complete unregistered problem on the Widow here, but not able to do that too much from low ground. But that is okay. Looking for that early pick with Lugamel holding the corner strong.
Kind of just have to deal with it.
Reaper cast is going to create some problems for sure for allowing Lugamel to really hold one corner strong. But unfortunately, yeah, seriously, my goodness. In the close range battle, it seems like Trickster does not stand a chance. Switching over to Pharah, actually.
And let them get a bit more burst damage, especially on this Reaper. Currently flanking behind the Ana.
Definitely. Reaper is starting to pay rent in the back line, but seems like rent season is over. Contract is
Pharah here is
expired.
able to take care of the break in the back line as well. Not much the break can do against Pharah.
Definitely. Lugamel finding a big rock in the line though, and the big pick from Trickster. Trickster losing his life, but being able to allow two to be taken into progress.
Sage just taking some pop shots on the Widow.
Definitely, Sage still looking for a pretty big headshot to start off this next fight with. The Trickster pretty much down to his last legs. Sage
does come out, but it doesn't do enough.
Yeah, not able to find much with the Winston bubble right there. Being able to block most of the line of sight there. I think this flanking Reaper from Chief is really getting a ton of advantage. Really forcing Purdue to keep their heads on a swivel while Chief just decides to kill two every fight. Speaking of being able to kill two.
I like the Reaper pick are much better here than the Widow.
Definitely. I think Reaper is just going to create so much more team fight pressure. Definitely into the Winston.
The universe is singing to me!
There's just not much that FLPoly can do here to stop that combination.
Definitely. It's going to be a rough next fight going into this next one. But, you know, with all these ults coming out from both sides, you know, it really seems like this is going to be an intense next team fight.
Looking at the ults here, it's looking like you can see a Nano Blossom, an Electric Cowboy, I believe it is. You can see the Nano Brig even.
Nano Brig would be a fun one to see. The Nano Winston never goes wrong, you guys. Never goes wrong.
Who missed their sleep dart.
Absolutely. And a big primal coming out from Mitch here. able to really place a ton of pressure on the enemy supports.
Both supports down.
Purdue supports, actually just, yeah, Purdue supports was not able to keep their lives against the rampaging monkey right there. Kamel also losing his fights, and we're just gonna see this be a pretty clean wipe.
Chief B up here, lying in wait, just waiting.
Both teams able to maintain a pretty solid ult economy here.
Beat each other up there.
Two Reapers forcing each other out.
Take a look at our Ana here.
Actually, Sage able to find a massive first pick onto Abstract. That's going to give Purdue a pretty massive advantage.
Sleep Dart and Anti onto the Nano Reaper though.
Unfortunately, Sportsman waking up his own sleep, even with the Anti, is pretty detrimental. But it might not cost him the fight. I'll have to see if Sage ends up keeping his life here, which he does.
He pushed the cart almost all the way to the end of this point.
Ooh, a big last ditch effort.
The sun saved that cast for a second.
Yeah, seriously, Luke able to find Cass, but not able to do much more than that. With Shinobi also resetting here, it'll be definitely time to reconsider how they take this next fight. Even with that barrage coming out soon here. But I'd really love to see a big Blossom coming out here from QB, as well as allowing that high noon to really get some value.
Well, doesn't look like we'll be seeing that, but we might see the Death Blossom soon here.
Justice reigns from above.
Definitely, tricks are getting two here.
The Blossom
Absolutely.
Up by the
Massive.
Flux. That's
Oh
gonna
my
be
goodness.
point for Purdue Rose.
Nice, an amazing play from Royal Trickster right there, really allowing Purdue to get the advantage, getting that second point. Or Sage maybe get a little bit too cheeky with that CP. No worries, he ends up getting out there. I definitely really want to see him take some pressure, or force some pressure here.
It's a good stagger pick onto the Cassidy though. That'll keep FLPoly from coming over, as well as the pick onto Chief B there. Onto that Pharah.
Purdue is really forcing Ashborn to be on their toes, lest they go too far and risk staggering extremely hard. Really love to see what these Boilermakers are doing to really force pressure, to really force advantage in the fight.
The nanoed monkey though did get into the back line and was able to just tear apart both the Zen and the Ana. Can't deal with the
Massively
Reaper, though.
unfortunate. Yeah, massively unfortunate for Purdue here. It's okay, they go into this next fight kind of looking to build some ults here. Coming with Shinobi and Nene coming up on both of their ults.
Abstract does have
Gonna
the
be a-
rally that would try and counter.
Definitely.
Down to 1 minute.
Ooh.
That's
Little
a good
Matt-
pick
little
by
Hyman.
Shinobi onto the Cassidy.
Absolutely amazing play by Shinobi. Getting that pick there, and Ashborn is going to be even more solidly pressured going into this fight. Really not able to take their space against Trickster Spara.
Sage getting the Death Blossom killing 2 in the back line.
Sage
also
really
stops
getting
the
the
rally
stage
from
to
coming
Ashborn. Hey, look around at you. Look around at your back line. With that massive Blossom, really, Purdue is really able to take advantage of those ults and full cap watch point Gibraltar. Really what you like to see from Purdue, really taking advantage of the resources that they have, and I want to see them continue to do that on this defense round.
Initiating match.
Have to wait and see what they roll out here. I'm expecting probably the Sigma again, considering that seems to be what Luke Mel has preferred this entire time.
Yeah, I definitely like to see how Luke Mel is really dedicating himself to that Sigma. It really seems to be working out for Purdue Rose right now.
Ready for
There it
Choosing to
is.
go with it again here.
On the defense,
Very
though, I do
interesting.
like that comp much better. Although it did obviously work pretty well on the attack.
Definitely. I think Sage is probably I see Sage going for that same strategy that Chief was really holding down in the first round here, of just sitting in that building to the right, just really taking forever to be forced out. If you're able to be enough of a nuisance in that side room, that really allows the attacking team to get lots of advantage.
5, 4,
You really get
Royal
to see
Trickster
some
is
great
going to be
stuff
starting
come
on the May here, though,
out.
which is an interesting choice on the high ground. Not as much of a close range map, but that will potentially keep the divers from filling the backline here.
Absolutely. Very interesting to see how he takes advantage of wall. Could potentially go for an early one here on the backline, but chooses not to. Chooses to play more reserve. This makes sense.
GP is able to get a pick. Almost able to get that second. The May has been taken down to one hit. There goes Trickster.
Lukameo able to find that pick online though, but losing 3, still not able to get too much advantage.
Even without the headshots here, the Widow is still very deadly.
Yeah, the Widow is still a massive amount of pressure, but chooses to take the wrong high ground angle. Still gets out alive somehow.
Trickster came back on the
With
Bastion just to melt through these health pools.
Lich, holding on to his pearls right now, clutching his pearls right now. With that Bastion Reaper comp coming out here, we'll have to see how long they end up staying on the Winston.
I can see them potentially moving towards maybe a Malga or a Hazard type setup here, or even an Orisa.
Definitely. Could see an Orisa, could even see their own Sigma coming out here. Could be interesting, but choosing to stay on the Monkey for right now could still get lots of pressure onto that Zen on the backline.
Sage is getting close to their backline here. Found the other Reaper.
Both Reapers ended up finding themselves in the same room, with Sage being able to say, I am the better Reaper. But Abstract finding his head being taken there, and as well as let's get found is a pretty solid advantage here for Purdue.
2 minutes remaining in the round before we get into overtime.
Absolutely. Purdue able to shave off over half of Ashbourne's time bank here. Is going to get a pretty solid advantage. GP almost losing his head instantly.
Didn't know that Sage was up there guarding the blue box. Sage is able to take the Winston out.
Unfortunately, Lich not learning from Chief B's mistakes. It's going to be an unfortunate
huge
delay.
block for Ashborn here.
Absolutely.
area denial.
But
Watch
both,
Bastion for a minute.
Purdue coming out into this next fight with 5 ults. They're going to have to see how they play that. Abstract not able to live much longer. Really staggering extremely hard.
Sage just
With Lindell on
holding
his way
down
out.
that blue box, not letting them take any staging angles up there.
Yeah, seriously, Nene has also been getting extreme value here, finding those antis, getting those sleeps as best he can, and most importantly, staying alive.
Sage alive up there. Almost a good sleep onto the Sojourn. They've realized that Nene keeping them alive has been the problem.
Absolutely.
But Nene still escapes.
Absolutely. Nene, unspoken hero. But, everyone is able to find their advantage, with Nene finding Lich, as well as Lukamel finding everyone else. Really, and they only use... We only use one ultimate. We only use one ultimate. Definitely.
They have 4
Purdue
ults
able to
try and
manage
hold
those
for
resources
10 more
excellently.
seconds.
Oh my goodness, Purdue is just playing this extremely well. With Ashbourne just not knowing what to do to come back. They're going to be able to find themselves down very much so, with Purdue able to take the 3rd map.
They didn't even have to use the ults there until the end, where it was kind of just throwing away at the end there.
Definitely. Purdue able to find so much value out of just their base cooldowns there.
Play of the game.
Royal Trickster with the play of the game on Thara.
Justice reigns from above.
All in all, a very good map from Purdue here.
Absolutely. Purdue just played that defense round so incredibly well, just not allowing Ashbourne to get any advantage. But super excited to see how we go into this next map.
It's match point for Purdue here. They could win off of this next map.
Definitely. They'll have to play their bans well here. I think they're really I can definitely see a Sigma ban coming out from Ashbourne here, not allowing Luke Mel to be able to play that mid range and hold that space extremely well. Potential roster swap coming out from
Ashbourne.
potential roster and role swap coming out from Ashbourne here. Chief B
Right.
maybe switching switching around.
I
Abstract
understand.
actually looks like
Abstract is
Oh,
on
sorry.
the tank now, I think is what it is.
Yep, and then
Yeah, they
Lich
changed.
is actually going to switch over to DPS.
Yeah, so Ruthless Lich was their tank, went to DPS. Lyondale, who was their DPS, went to support. And then Abstract went from their support to the tank. So
Yeah,
Abstract was playing that main support type role, the Lucio Brig. So I almost wonder if Lyondale is going to be their flex support player here.
yeah, that'd be super interesting to see if it'll be
Look
super
at
interesting to see how
double
that ends up
flex
changing
type
the
setup.
composition.
Looks like our fourth map here is going to be Suravasa.
Definitely.
Sit on this for a minute as we wait for the bans to come through. What bans would you be looking for if you were either team here? What would you be looking to ban on the other side?
And find that Sigma ban. Either that Sigma ban, potentially a Reaper ban. Not allowing Sage to be able to kind of run wild against I definitely want to see about banning on that Lucio Moira comp that Ashbourne seems to be running with. The Reaper ban coming out from them as well.
You appear to be cutting out again, but the Sigma ban coming through for FLPoly Ashborn, which does seem to be directly targeted at Lucamel here. Although we don't even know if they were to play Sigma on this map, but given the track record, that would make sense. Waiting to see what Purdue's ban is coming through as. I believe we have lost Meme Hunter. He will hopefully be back shortly. We're still discussing their ban here, not seeing it in the chat yet. My guess would be potentially, considering how they have swapped all the roles around on Ashbourne's side, we don't know exactly what they're going to be running. It looks like Purdue will be running with a Lucio ban. Banning the Frog. We can see the Lucio ban, as Nate has returned to us.
Hello, everyone. I know that you missed my beautiful, beautiful voice for the last 30 seconds, maybe. I am back. Thank you for holding on to support. I'm excited to see how we end up playing this here. But what bans do we have going into this next map here?
So we have coming through from FLPoly, we have a Sigma ban, which is obviously directly targeted at Lucamel here, who's been kind of doing a lot of damage with the Sigma at that good mid-range. Especially on a map like
Absolutely,
Surabasso,
definitely
where you
nice.
play a lot of mid-ranges. And then
Absolutely.
on Purdue's side, we have a Lucio ban. So preventing the quick
Ah.
brawl style that Ashborn took at the start of the series. Although, considering they swapped all the roles around, we don't even know if they were going to run Lucio. So Lucio may have been
Yeah,
an
that
unnecessary ban.
that is actually a pretty great question here for the most part. Kind of seeing how Purdue is going to choose to take these next fights with that Lucio ban. With the Lucio JQ comps being so incredibly dominant on this map for so long. I'm kind of curious to see how Purdue ends up wanting to take this.
The rework to this map is so pretty.
Oh, yeah, the scenery. Looking at the scenery, I just don't think we need to fight, you guys. I think we can all just make friends.
There's an alligator down here. Maybe not. Maybe I'm insane.
Purdue is about to be the alligator the way they're about to eat up Ashborn right here.
It's a good transition.
That's pretty terrible.
An attempt was made.
That's okay. That's okay.
You see the
attempt was
coming
made.
through. So Abstract is coming in as the designated ball player for FLPoly Ashborn. Let's see what the
Definitely.
ball looks like coming in here.
Absolutely. Abstract playing to roll through them pretty solidly. Placing some early pressure there. Landing actually down. Yeah, seriously, a lot of ball compositions are really, trying to be annoying and get as much pressure as possible before doing the hard dive. So Abstract trying to swing through as much as he can, but not trying to get fully pressured out for it.
On the other side, it looks like Purdue has gone with the tried and true, except instead of a Sigma, they have the Hazard again, which is Lucamel's other choice. Sage is taken out
Definitely.
here.
Oh my goodness. Lich able to survive on 6 health is disgusting right there. Able to find Sage in this early map.
Fight, let them have the flashpoint for a little bit.
Definitely. Flashpoint is game mode that goes so back and forth. You're able to kind of see how fights can change on a dime. With Ana coming out from both
the ball here and then run someone else down. By banning the Lucio, they may have hindered themselves more than they know. Although Royal Trickster
Definitely.
3 picks here.
My goodness. It takes one slash and Trickster killing 3 to just absolutely turn this fight right now.
See, that is exactly the
last
kind of plays that they need to make, though, where they just ignore the ball and kill the backline. That's what keeps the ball alive in these types of comps.
Abstract is just gonna be doing everything to try and be as annoying as attention hoggy as possible, getting a ton of value. But Purdue is hopefully just not gonna fall for it.
Both the DPS on the ball here, just doing some damage. They have
Yep, Trickster just trying to force that
get
out.
him to back up, though.
Definitely, Trickster looking to get a ton more pressure here, and man, Lionel finding himself slashed. Not
Well,
quite
it's a
there.
pretty
It's
good
unfortunate
chance
for
to
Ashborn.
use a downpour here.
I think a downpour could be a massive ult advantage here. With the mines coming up from Abstract, able to find pressure on Sage. But Chief ended up being traded for that. And there's a big stun onto Trickster. It's going to cause him to be taken in this fight. Lich and Abstract finding another 2. Pretty massive.
Giving his life to potentially stall the point, but isn't able to make it in time. That might have been a bit of a waste. That's a big stagger. When you
That's
only
a massive
have
stagger
30% on a flashpoint, that might have been a misplay.
Purdue is really struggling in the ult economy section right now, so not being able to go into this fight with any events is going to be tough.
trade here to start.
Really,
Trickster does go down though.
yeah. Duco potentially being able to out-survive here, just simply with the fact that he has both supports. Finding two, my goodness, just taking heads here is insane.
And the supports keep their Hazard alive. They aren't able to. It's down to the
It's gonna
Zen
come
and the
down to
Ana
the
against
side.
a Ball and another Ana.
This fight could really go either way, depending on who's able to play for their life here, trying to test this objective.
Huge pick from
With
Shinobi across the map.
Shinobi
but they
able to
stepped
find
onto the
heads.
ball. They almost had a
My
chance to win
goodness.
that fight.
Shinobi and Nene finding themselves being taken, but it doesn't matter. They both played that incredibly well. Just managing to survive and being able to get a great pick there onto the enemy Ana.
Trickster might be a bit in over their head here. Backing up a
Trickster
little bit
might
to keep
end
their
up being
team.
tricked, but doesn't end up finding himself being very gullible. I may have spoken too soon.
That might be
Might be unfortunate for Stagger going into this next fight.
we might have to give up the flashpoint to start this.
Now, very exciting to see how that ball is creating a lot of advantage for them. Yeah, ball is creating a lot of advantage for them, but if you get stuck in a bad spot, it's
It's a
really
good
pretty
wall
solid
from
over.
Overwatch here to keep them from backing up in this corridor. Or through that gateway.
Definitely.
Archway.
Purdue able to find even more heads here is just going to be such a good advantage for them going into this fight.
We have a
Pause, actually.
Presumably an auto DC pause.
Maybe a technical issue. Yep, tech issues coming out from Ashborn here. Mouse disconnected, it seems like.
Looking at ults coming up for this next fight, we have almost all ults coming in from Purdue's side. Let's see, 2 support ults are coming up on Ashborn's side, but the supports just died, so they have to regroup before this next fight. We're probably going to see another fight around the 30% mark on Purdue's side, maybe 40%.
Definitely,
take a
I
look
think,
at
you know,
the perks in the scoreboard here.
definitely, you know, Shinobi and Nene being able to farm both of their perks here pretty fast is really indicative of how much value that they're able to find in these fights, you know?
The grog
And,
perk from Nene to keep that ball, as soon as the ball gets slept, takes a little bit of extra damage and then slow down just for a second.
Absolutely.
Sage taking the
And
orbs on Reaper for the extra healing when he goes through the back line and tanks.
It's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible how much raw stats, how many raw stats Shinobi's able to put out here in these fights. It's really creating so much pressure here.
4,500 healing. He has more healing on than the Ana does here, which is quite
Really just showing
impressive.
off, you know, being the unsung heroes of this match.
Shinobi getting dove by the ball here.
Excavation initiation.
It's a huge sleep on the ball to keep him out of the fight. The trance trying to desperately keep his team alive, but just a second too late to save 2 of his teammates. The nano brig coming in, and that's going to secure the fight win for the fight, but not before 2 Rose is able to get up to 75% on the flashpoint. Late
Yeah, seriously,
stagger
great.
onto Hazard though.
Still great percentage for Purdue Gold here, but you know, really, that brig playing so aggressive was really able to give them so much advantage.
Ball is kind of just disrupting that backline, preventing them from even getting to the point in order to defend it or to attack it.
Ball doing what Ball does best, just being as annoying as possible.
That's
Really,
a
you know.
huge move there. That might even be what keeps them from touching the point. No, they got to the point.
Good touch here coming out here from Trickster and Sage. Sage able to find 2 is absolutely massive, but not really.
Now able to come back in. Can Lukamel hold it? They are able to come to the point.
Lukamel not necessarily able to find that Venture quite yet.
Venture has likely got the health pack. Yeah, it looks like they got the health pack, but they are 1 hit away. Can that Venture get out? Looks like they're gonna burrow back in, see if they can stall the point longer.
Mines are going to be a devastating thing to have here on point for Purdue.
They don't.
Venture not able to survive very long though. Blitz being taken out. But Trickster and Sage both finding themselves back in the spawn room. But Lukamel really. Absolutely, with that Transcendence, really going to give them a good advantage.
Will Lukamel use the downpour if that can help here?
So the downpour coming out here for Purdue. Not able to find any good targets. But Sage still end up finding himself top. Seems like having both supports here is still going to be precarious. Not able to live necessarily as long as he would like.
And Nene keep his team alive.
There are lots of POVs.
And Purdue was able to secure the flash point.
Absolutely. Such good
messy end to that fight.
Definitely. All these fights, have been so messy and really have shown how close that these teams are in terms of skill. Super exciting to see, both these teams rolling it out and how they're trying to, really adapt to one another in all these fights.
Trickster choosing to not engage further. Just scouting instead. Deterring the Venture on the other side as well. Good throw damage coming in. Abstract on the ball was taken out by Lukamel, as well as the support.
Nene not able to survive that. Not able to survive that Chief headshot with Trickster, Lukamel, and Sage and Genobi finding their heads being taken by Chief. My goodness, this Sojourn performance is really going down in the books. But I really want to see Purdue really show themselves in full force in this next fight.
That's a good
but Genobi isn't even able to leave.
The ball is able to disrupt and make it out.
Definitely. Abstract is still doing everything he can to be as annoying as possible in these fights. But, really going into this next fight, Purdue is going to be looking to take advantage of having these ults, both support ults, but Nene isn't even able to get the nano off. Being taken early in this fight. Sage going for an aggressive ult, but not able to live long enough to see the results.
The damage, though, did let Genobi and Trickster finish off 2 players from FLPoly. Genobi able to keep them alive in this fight as they try to stall.
Definitely. Let's be taken out in this fight is gonna maybe allow Purdue to take this, but they're gonna have to get rid of Abstract first, which they do pressure him out.
Purdue's able to start gaining progress on this flashpoint.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised that Abstract didn't end up staying for longer than he did. Really seemed like he was at full health, but really regrouping
is 99%. It seems probably better for them to regroup for that last fight.
Very good point.
Abstract does get picked
Abstract
up, though.
gets early. You don't usually see the ball being the first one to go, but definitely an unfortunate turn of events.
Trickster does have this range extender, which is able to let them shoot just from a mile away on Venture.
Yeah, really such a fun ability.
The downpour, keeping that ball in place, that'll let Purdue probably secure this flashpoint. The brick
Purdue's
rally
gonna be able to take so much pressure.
There goes the break.
Yeah. Purdue just able to take so many early picks and really forcing these fights to be as work to their advantage, and I really like to see that. Able to actually take their second point here.
This is map point and match point for Purdue. If they win this next flash point, they win the map or win the match. Since they are currently at 2-1.
Absolutely. It's gonna really come down to being able to take advantage of their upcoming ults. You know, even with that Venture ult, they've still got Sage and Genobi's ults coming online pretty soon here.
Genobi has been really good
But
with his
Ashborn
Zen ults,
stuff,
and
also
using them
fun.
at the perfect time to keep his team alive. That's a good pick from
That's
Trickster
really-
to start the fight here.
Wow.
Venture
Venture not
comes
taking
out,
any
that's
slander
just
on
gonna
his Venture.
tear through
Oh
their team.
my goodness.
The Tremors.
Venture does, or Trickster does in fact have some tricks up his sleeve. That's exactly what I like to see.
GP gets one
That's
extra
enough.
pick to try and keep his team potentially in the fight, but it's not enough for Abstract to continue. Abstract is going to keep stalling this point though for his team to come back. Holly is not done yet. Lucamel able to kill Abstract with the spikes. The extra damage coming through from the hazard perk here.
Definitely, I really like to see, you know, really taking advantage of their space holding capabilities with the Venture. You know, that dive being such a strong aspect of getting these early fight picks.
Abstract still doing
And
his best to
Lucamel
try and
going
get
real
into the back
deep
line.
here. I'm curious to see how Lucamel's taking advantage of this downpour. Maybe trying to place a little bit more pressure on Chief and Sportsman here.
Big downward catches
Oh my
Diana.
goodness. Lucamel bringing the rain here, finding Chief and Sportsman.
Able to help
Oh
pick
my
up the last
goodness.
the two supports as well.
Such a clean 2 picks there from Purdue. It's just going to really give Purdue a glaring advantage here. Still keeping 3 ults in their back pocket as well as a 4th upcoming.
After the first 3 flashpoints even here, which felt much more competitive, much more back and forth. This one seems very much Purdue favor now. Although Chief B coming in to completely change that.
You know, Chief unfortunately has ultimate, so seems like there's going to be a lot more pressure coming out onto Purdue here, trying to keep up in terms of
But it
picks.
is the last fight potentially for them.
My goodness.
Still
Purdue-
back and forth,
Purdue
it's
is
still
really
relatively
trying to
even. 3v3.
Still could go either way. If Lyondell isn't able to survive here, it could really spell the end of being able to sustain as long as they'd like on Purdue's side.
Lyondell's
But
finally picked
Lyondell's
up,
going
but
to end up finding themselves
the
taken.
damage might have been done to let Poly win this.
The real ball versus hazard competition here with Lich trying to use that excavation.
Those Zen ults might be what keeps Purdue in this though.
Definitely.
Here goes
Kenobi
the
really
excavation.
coming through. Big excavation, really just forcing out so much pressure onto Ashborn here. Really going to
Also
prevent
pressure onto the ball.
It'll all come down to whether or not they can take this ball instantly, and they do end up taking the ball. Lyondell not able to survive any longer, and Purdue is going to take the match.
That is a win for Purdue. And I
Absolutely.
realize my
Amazing.
victory scene is messed up. Let's try this again. Victory for Purdue.
You know, real great match on both sides. You know, really like to see Ashborn, you know, showing up and showing out on their compositions, getting lots of early good picks, and really able to see on both sides. But Purdue is just too overwhelming in their own experience, and it was just a great game played by all. But really exciting, and I'm really excited to see what Purdue teams end up bringing out next in these matches, and really seeing how Purdue Rose is able to keep advancing in their games.
Got a final score here of 3-1 for Purdue Rose, with Purdue losing the first map of Lijiang Tower, but able to sweep the rest of the way.
Definitely, still super exciting to see how Purdue is taking so many of these fights.
That
You know,
brings...
even.
Go ahead, finish.
Oh no, I was gonna say, you know, Purdue really wasn't able to show up maybe as much as I'd like on Lijiang, but really ended up coming back around, I'd say.
And that will bring Florida Polytechnic Ashborn to 0-1 for the season, and Purdue Rose will be 1-1 for this year so far. Excited to see where these
Definitely.
teams end up.
Absolutely. But really, thank you all so much for having us tonight, and it's been really good to really watch a great match go down. I'm really excited to see what Purdue Rose and Ashbourne end up pulling out in their next games.
Thank you again all for watching. Bye.